Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Colin here at eTrailer, and today we have a 2013 Ford Escape. We've been test fitting some hitch-mounted accessories on it, and right now we have the etrailer.com tilting and folding cargo carrier installed. We'll just run through some of the features of it, show you how it interacts with your Escape, so you can decide if this is going to fit your needs. Now, with the cargo carrier, this is going to allow you to get any excess cargo, luggage, sports and recreational gear out of your vehicle, get it stowed on the carrier, strapped down, so it doesn't take up too much space on the inside. It's great for road trips so that you have more leg and elbow room. You're not overcrowded with luggage and other stuff that you might be traveling with. And with the carrier, you are going to have a 500-pound weight capacity, so it should be more than enough to get all the gear you need loaded up and secured. That is a pretty standard weight capacity throughout most cargo carriers we sell. Now we have the raised side rails as well, all around the perimeter of it. It's going to make for great tie-down points. So whether you got bungee cords, ratchet straps, cam buckle straps, you're going to be able to use those to get them secure. You can wrap it around the raised side rails, and you'll be good to go. Now, if you don't have any spare straps or cords laying around, we do sell plenty of those here at eTrailer, so be sure to pick a couple up if you decide to get this. Now, one of the great features about this cargo carrier is that we can actually tilt it away from the vehicle. Now, before I do that, I want to show you guys kind of why you would want to tilt it away. So when you have cargo stacked, let's say you got it stacked about up here. When you open up your hatch, at some point, it would make contact with the stuff on your carrier. Now, what we call that is a breakover point. So let's go from the bottom, like the floor of the carrier. We'll just lift it up and up and up. At about 25 inches, so just over 2 feet, when you have your cargo stacked there, that's when your hatch is going to make contact with that stuff. Now, in some cases, you may be able to just adjust it and then open up the hatch all the way. In some cases, you might have a ton of totes stacked up to where that's not possible. So if you need to gain access to the trunk, but you don't want to unload the carrier, this is where that tilt-away feature is going to come in handy. So I'll show you how to do that real quick. We're going to come in here and pull both of these pins and clips. One thing I do want to point out is that if you are going to have this carrier loaded to its full weight capacity or even close to it, like at 300 to 400 pounds, you're going to want an extra set of hands to do this, just because removing the pins and clips, if there's a lot of weight on the carrier, that makes this pin hard to remove. So you're going to want someone lifting up on the back and then pulling that pin out, like so, and then we can tilt it away. And that would also just be very hard on one person to do with a lot of weight loaded. So now if we open up our hatch, you can see as it swings open, because all of our contents are now angled up, that hatch won't make contact with him. We'll even go ahead and set these pins and clips down. We'll get this tape measure ready and show you guys when we shut it. We'll get it lined up correctly. When we shut the trunk, it doesn't make contact with the tape measure, letting you know that if you could have cargo stacked as high as you want, and you could still tilt it away and gain access to the trunk. So that is a really cool feature about the carrier. And then we'll go ahead and replace the pin and clips once we tilt it back up. Again, don't be afraid to use an extra set of hands if you need it. Have one guy lift up like I am right now. I'm able to balance it on my knees, which makes it a little bit easier. This first pin and clip is just kind of a stopper so that the shank can't tilt away anymore. Then the second pin goes in that shank to keep it in place. And then we'll place those clips. Now, as far as storage space on the carrier itself, let's go ahead and measure inside rail to inside rail. It's going to be 60 inches on the width. That's going to be 24 inches on your length. Whoop. We'll measure from the floor of it to the top. It's going to be about 5.5 inches to the top of our side rail. That should give you a good idea of if any totes you have or coolers that you might have would fit sideways or vertically. We also have a really nice mesh floor to it. So in any cases where maybe you're hauling home a ton of muddy gear, and you get it unloaded at the house, but your cargo carrier is very dirty, you don't want to stow that in your garage, we'll just take a hose or a power washer, spray it off, you'll be good to go for the next time. It's pretty going to make for very easy cleaning. Now, what I want to point out is that the elements aren't going to affect it too much. We got a really nice sturdy steel construction. It's going to hold up great to rugged use, and it's got a black powder coat finish as well, so that's going to help resist rust and corrosion over time. So it should provide a lot of years of service for you. Now, with any hitch-mounted accessory, you are going to have added length to your vehicle. So in the case of our Escape, we'll measure from the bumper to the outermost point. It's about 40 1/4 of an inch added onto the back of your Escape. Now, when you have nothing loaded, let's say you went on a long road trip and you're at your destination, you don't really have a place to store your cargo carrier, so you got to leave it in your hitch. What you can do is fold it up towards the vehicle to conserve on space for tight parking spots, anything like that. What we're going to do is come and remove this second pin and clip. Don't worry about that top one, just the second one. And then we'll fold it up like so. And then replace it at the bottom so it stays in this position. Now if we measure again from the bumper to the outermost point, this is a little bit difficult just because the carrier is in the way of the bumper, but I'll try to get you guys as accurate as measurement as I can. Roughly right there. We're about 13 inches. Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, just because that was a rough estimate. But still, we took away a lot of space. Again, keep this in mind. If you want to park in a tight parking spot, maybe even if you're just going around town and you don't want to take it out of your hitch and you want to close your garage door, you can fold it up and you'll be able to accomplish that. Now let's go back and see how it attaches to our hitch. On our Escape, we have a 2" by 2" hitch receiver. We have a nice anti-rattle threaded hitch pin right here that is tightened down. It's got a clip on the other side as well. It's going to take away the shake and play from our cargo carrier, so it's not rattling around really at all. A lot of cargo carriers out there just have a standard 5/8 pin, and they just really move up and down a lot and side to side. And over a long road trip, that could get pretty annoying. In the case of the eTrailer one, you're going to have very little rattling whatsoever. You're virtually not going to be able to hear it while you're traveling. Well, thank you all for watching, and I hope this information helped you out. But that's going to do it for our test fit of the etrailer.com tilting and folding cargo carrier on our 2013 Ford Escape.
Here on our test course, we'll start by going through the slalom. This is going to show us the side-to-side action. This simulates turning corners or evasively maneuvering. Once we get to the full speed bumps, we'll see the up and down action. This will be just like driving in and out of a parking lot, parking garage, or driveway. Once we get to the alternating speed bumps, we'll see the twisting action. This will simulate hitting a curb or pothole or driving over uneven pavement.